Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rendition of No Holds Barred, where we basically bookend each of our games, or journeys I call them, that we travel upon here on the channel. This time, as you can see, we have just finished Yakuza 4. 100% I might add, no proof of that. Well, let's just watch back through the VODs. Go to the right to the end of this one and you'll probably see the 100% score at the end of it. So we've done it in 152 hours. And something 18 minutes or something, so it's one of those things. But yes, we have got through vast quantities of many things, as is traditional with a Yakuza game. So 100% for those new to the channel or haven't actually seen any of the Let's Play of this game, any of this journey, that means all of the story's done. Every character is max level. All of the completion list is done, so that's all of the mini games, all of the gambling, all of the weapon mods, all of the side trainers, all of the hostesses, 2 levels of hostesses this time, all of the, I forget what, the everything, basically. There is an entire completion list in the game. We have got little crowns on everything. We have a nice 100% tick mark at the end of the game. We've not gone for all of the trophies, that's what I call a completion run. We've not got platinum, and we won't because I only do 1 run through per game. So, well, 1 run through of a game here on the channel. I might go and do Legend at a later date, but not at the moment. So there we go. So we have finished our 4th game of the Yakuza franchise. We're in the midst, at the point of recording, of a Yakuza franchise run. We have started with Yakuza 0. We have worked our way, admittedly, with breaks in the middle, to ensure my sanity, because trying to 100% all of the Yakuza games one after another will probably break me. We've done a completion run of Yakuza 0, 100% run of Yakuza Kiwami 1, completion run of Yakuza Kiwami 2, the only time I've broken my 1 playthrough rule because I just love that game. We've done a 100% run of Yakuza 3, and we've done a 100% run of Yakuza 4, with obviously the next being 5, then 6, then Judgment, then Like a Dragon, then Judgment, Lost Judgment, then Gaiden, I think it's Gaiden, then probably The Man Who Erased His Own Name, then like Infinite Wealth, and then whatever game they release after that, because I believe at some point later in the month, they are also announcing a new Yakuza game, or maybe it's Kiwami 3, which I've been asking for, but that's going to be interesting if we go back and play Yakuza 3, but with Kiwami 3, but we'll see. They change up the games anyway, so either way. But what did I think of this game? Well, for those of you who have seen our No Holds Barred, or even our playthrough of Yakuza 3, you will probably be very much aware that I did not look very favourably upon a few aspects. The story was amazing, but the combat was utter trash, as far as I'm concerned. At least trash is a bit harsh. Combat was fine. Combat was Yakuza. Kiryu did fight, and it worked fine in several instances. The enemy AI, however, was awful, and they just continuously blocked. However, here we see where RGG managed to turn things slowly around. This game runs on a version of the engine, probably not the final one, but this game is very much running on a version of the game engine that Yakuza 0 eventually has. They fixed the enemy AI, they're much better to fight, it feels like there's more variety with heat actions, finisher moves, so as you fight people, then you build up a heat gauge, which allows you to do a special move which does extra damage. There's more variety in the animations there. There's plenty of weapons. Oh, good lord, there are so many weapons in this game that you have random items on the street, you also have random items in select locations, you also have moddable weapons. I have modded every weapon. A lot of them are a waste, I must admit. They're interesting, but a lot of it is just a time sink, as far as I'm concerned, but it is what it is. But combat is fantastic. Combat, I can see with the combat what I saw in Yakuza 0. Without the changing of the different stances, that's fine, but I can see it maybe more towards Kiwami. Kiwami's in Dragon Engine, though it's a different engine, but I can definitely see where it is. So yeah, I can see the germination. I can see the beginnings of what this engine will become in this game, because it's a remaster. It's not a full remake, so it's still the same engine. It's just they've updated the graphics here and there and probably done some fine tuning and bug fixes. Game runs fine. Game runs smooth as silk. It's brilliant. It all hangs together. No game. I can't say if there were any sort of issues. I don't know of them. I was told that there's a bug where the enemies make funny facial expressions when you defeat them, but as far as I'm concerned, with Yakuza 3 onwards, that's just sort of what they do. Their jaws do a grimace of pain and misery. Which makes sense if you've just had some 6-foot Yakuza drop a bicycle on you. Just saying. But yes, gameplay-wise, gameplay's fine. Game works brilliantly, mini-games, though Pachinko still very much confuses me. They've got Mahjong, they've got all you expect from a Yakuza game. Even then, the grind for some of the Asian gambling didn't feel quite as nasty as it did in Yakuza 3. I don't know whether that's because I've just got better at it, or because they've made some fine-tunings here and there, but it is what it is. Difference, however, instead of 4 fighting styles, you do have 4 fighting styles, but that's because you have 4 different characters. You have Kiryu, you have Seijima, you have Akiyama, and you have Detective Tiddlywinks, because I can never remember his bleeding name. Tatsuya Tanemura, I think his name is, or Tiyama, or something. Either way, I can never remember his name, so he is Detective Tiddlywinks, as far as I'm concerned. Each have different fight styles, each have different ways of... Well, mostly the controls are the same, but each have different fight styles and different trophies tied to them in order to do different things. So Kiryu break weapons, Seijima buy guns, Akiyama get a lot of money, and Tiddlywinks is do a lot of gambling, because apparently he's a gambling addict. So there we go. So yeah, mentioning the characters, good segue into the story. Fantastic story. I very much enjoyed this story. Would I say it's on par with the likes of 3? Maybe. There are a few moments where it lost me, but for the most part, yeah, it was a good story. The ending is astounding. I love the ending. I found myself grinning like an idiot with the ending. It's just... I very much like it. I like Kiryu and Seijima's relationship. I just love Akiyama. He's just brilliant. And Tiddlywinks, I suppose, also managed to win me over, in part towards the end, but... I don't know. He's not in the rest of the games, I believe, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm quite happy Akiyama's going to be around. I suspected Seijima was going to be anyway because, well, one, I saw him on the Yakuza 5 cover, but at the same time, it's also, he's got ties to Majima, so it is what it is. I'm going to try and stop there now in case I start rattling off spoilers, but yes. Oh, there's also one scene, one very uncomfortable scene in the story. I won't talk about it lest YouTube hits me with a very heavy stick, but there is, just be warned, there is a very awkward moment in the cutscenes. Music-wise, alright, there was some really good soundtracks. The karaoke has expanded exponentially from what we had in Yakuza 3. Soundtrack-wise, through the rest of the game, lots of repeating background noises, lots of ambience as you're running around Kamurocho, but when you hit the cutscenes, the music just hits. Especially in the finale, the music was just brilliant. I very much appreciate the composer on that one, and the conductor, I suppose, because you'll have to have a conductor, I guess, depending if it was a live recording. I'm getting off track anyway. Graphics, it's alright. Everyone still looks a bit Frank Miller-esque bulky. I'm too used to the sort of slimmer models at this point of late engine, early Dragon Engine. Well, no, sorry, late Dragon Engine. Look, I'm used to the character models from 0 onwards, basically. So 0 Kwame and Kwame 2. I'm more used to the sort of slimmer models than Kiryu being the chunky boy he is now. Well, very muscular and he's sort of a bit boxy. He's better than he was in 3, but I'm curious to see what he looks like in 5. But otherwise, yeah, graphics are fine. Graphics look brilliant as always. So my PS5 is going to go to rest. There we go. Brilliant as always. So yeah, can't fault the graphics. I think they might have had too many NPCs wandering around Kamurocho, but 1, that's very much a nitpick, and 2, it's a city. You're supposed to have a lot of people milling around, especially in Japan, Tokyo's biggest entertainment district. So, what, entertainment city? I don't know how Japan works. Entertainment district, we'll call it. But yes, I think that is everything. Have I missed anything? Nope. So, my final thoughts on it. Brilliant game. Very much enjoyed it. Would I put it equate it to the likes of Koami 2? I don't know. It comes close in terms of gameplay. The gameplay's certainly coming on, but would I call it the same? I wouldn't put it. Well, would I put it on the same level as Yakuza 0? This is the question. Maybe a bit under. It still feels like it's cooking. It still feels like the devs were working and fine-tuning when this game released. So maybe not on the same levels, and I can't count Kiwami 2 because it's Dragon Engine. So as janky as it was in a few places, it was still just amazing of what you could do in that game. So yeah, it's definitely much better than 3. I'm very much... 3 was okay, the story was brilliant, but 3, the gameplay put me off. So going into this one, I did have a bit of trepidation, but with this one, it's just my love for you. After also doing 6 months of Tears of the Kingdom earlier in the year, and late last year, it took a long time. I can say, yes, this game has refired my love for Yakuza. Exponentially. It's such a brilliant game, and I cannot wait to get to 5. I'm not going to go straight into 5, because apparently that's going to just be many months of me working through all of the completion stuff. So we've got that. But I think it's a solid entry to the franchise. I very much enjoyed it. If you haven't played it, give it a shot. Though, if you haven't played any of the previous ones, maybe start with 0 just so you get the actual story, because it makes... The story does work in a linear order, and it is a good story, because it's good to go back and pick out all these bits and pieces, even back to 0, so there we go. Especially in this game with the stuff with Seijima, you can go back and you notice a few alterations maybe here and there with 0 retconning stuff, but for the most part, it's nice to see some of the events that were touched upon in 0 actually happening in this game, because this game came out before 0, but games are weird. Anyway, I think that is everything. That's all my ramblings and my thoughts on this game. Hopefully it made some sort of coherent sense in places. Probably not, because it's me. But anyway, with that said, with that done, if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel here at the moment, hopefully you consider hitting the subscribe button, liking this video. It really helps us out. And hey, if you want to catch us live while we go through any of these games, you can find us on twitch.tv/GuardEzio. It's all linked in the description down below, where you can join us live as we try and figure out how to do the 100% of all these games. The next one's going to be a doozy, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, with that said, with that done, to each and every one of you, may you all have a beautiful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are, and until our paths next cross again. The Vortex awaits. See you all next time.